Hello beautiful people and welcome to another video. I'm so excited to show you this look. So this is another model and this is how the look turned out. So if you want to know how I got to have this look, please stick around. So I started the look by cleaning my client's face. So this is something that you should do every time before you start doing any makeup. From there, I went in with this Nivea moisturizer. It acts as both a moisturizer and sunscreen. Since my client's face is oily, I ensured that before I prime her face, I did some powder, and so I used this powder from MAC, the finishing powder from MAC. So the main areas of concentration were the T-zone areas where she normally sweats a lot. After that, I went in with the Kiss Beauty primer. It's a face blur primer. That is what I used to prime her face. So you have to ensure that before you come in with the foundation, the primer is tacky. Yeah, you don't apply it on wet primer. You ensure that the primer is tacky. And then now I went in with this snail setting spray from Kiss Beauty. It's the one I used to separate my foundation from the face. I again went in with my foundation, and for the foundation I used a mixture. I mixed two foundations. I mixed a Luron foundation, a local foundation, and Zickel foundation. I mixed the two shades so that I could get her shade, because I didn't have a darker foundation. So for the foundation, for those who don't know how to apply foundation, you use the dabbing motion. You ensure first of all your sponge or your beauty blender is wet, not like wet, it's damp. You ensure it's damp so that it doesn't absorb your foundation. You know, you can use a dry when you use a dry blender, beauty blender, what it does is that it sucks the product. Yeah, so you notice that when you're applying, you get patches. Instead of it smoothing out when you apply, you get patches. Yeah, so you have to ensure your beauty blender is damp when you're applying your foundation. So for the highlight, I'm using Legal concealer in the shade Taffy. That is what I'm using to highlight her face. Yeah. And for the highlight again, you have to ensure you go, or rather you apply your highlight on the highlight areas. Highlight areas are normally the forehead, on the nose, and sometimes the chin. The chin is also a part of the areas to highlight. And when you're doing that, because normally you find that the area below your eyes is normally, for most people, it's not the same shade. It's normally like a little bit darker. So you have to ensure that also you highlight on that area. So to set the concealer on the under eyes, I'm first going in with this Sacha contour palette. It's the one I'm using to set the concealer before I go in with my Sacha loose powder. Normally what I've noticed is that if you use the the loose powder before you use the matte, it doesn't give you a nice finish. Yeah. So for the highlights areas, I first use the Sacha contour before I go in now with the Sacha Buttercup. So you notice after when you apply the Sacha Buttercup, after you've applied the Sacha matte, it tends to sit well on the face, especially on the under eyes. You won't have that dryness on the under eyes, and you will not also experience the lines under the eyes, because the matte, when you use the matte, there's something it does, like smoothening or something to that area. So for the contour, I'm still using the Sacha contour palette. It's the one I'm using, and I'm using the two darker shades. I'm mixing the two darker shades of the contour palette to do her contour. To set up the remaining parts of her face, you're still using the same palette, and I'm using some of the two powders, which are her shade, to set up her remaining areas of her face. So for the blush, I'm using this nude palette. I didn't know it was so much pigmented, though I was able to control it because I was able to control it with the brush. Yeah, it was somehow pigmented, but I was able to control that. So I used some of the pink eyeshadow in that nude palette for the blush. So to bake her face, I still used the same Sacha Buttercup. Yeah, so this one was the main reason I did this was to control the fallouts, the eyeshadow fallouts, because I wanted to start doing the eyes, and I wanted also her makeup to be highlighted. Yeah, that's why I went in again with the Sacha Buttercup. For the nose contour, I still used the same shades of contour I had used for the cheeks, but then now this one I used the smaller brush so that I would be able to penetrate well, especially in the area around her eyes. So now it was time to do the eyebrows, and I was just combing the brows with the eyebrow spoolie just to get that nice shape. And then I went in with this gel glue so that I was able to lay her brows. Yeah, I want them to stick well. So that's why I went with the brow gel. Yeah, after that I went in with now the Davis pencil number 18. It's the one I used to highlight her brows and to fill in her brows. Yeah. So I was able to achieve that with Davis number 18 pencil. To highlight her brows, I used the LA Girl concealer in the shade Cool Tan. It's the one I used to highlight the bottom side of her brows, but then at the upper side of the brows, I used the foundation. Yeah. So the concealer that I used to, a part of that concealer that I used to highlight her brows, I used it also as my eyeshadow base. Though still I used some eyeshadow base, but I wanted to highlight this area of her eyes. For the eyeshadow base, I used this eyeshadow base in the name Karite. It's the one I used to highlight, or rather I used as my shadow base. So for the eyeshadow, we decided to do some purple, and we used some pigments, some glitters on the front side. We wanted it to look like a cut crease, but then it wasn't a cut crease, but then it was some purple with some glitter shade, and it really came out very nicely. It really came out very nicely, a very nice somehow cut crease. It wasn't a cut crease, but it was somehow a cut crease. So after we were done with the eyes, I went back to her contour. I wanted to still highlight her contour, and it was time now to blend. So I did blend the contour and also ensured that my highlight was still intact. Yeah, so that's what you see I'm doing. I wanted the nose to be well highlighted and contoured. So I ensured that my shades for the contour and also for the highlight were visible. So it was now time for the eyeliner, and for the eyeliner I was using this eyeliner. Can't remember the name. I'll be able to indicate in the description box. So when I was able to do her eyeliner with a little bit of a wing. Yeah? We then did some mascara. And this one was volumizing mascara. Also, I can't remember the name, but I'll also be able to indicate it in the description box. And then we did our lashes. So the last bit you see I'm doing now is the lashes. Yeah, to just finish the eye look. For the under eye, I'm using this Golden Lip Cosmetics eyeliner. It's the one I'm using for her eye, for her under eye. Before I go in with some purple shade. So for the purple shade, I want to use the eye pencil, the Davis eye pencil number 45, just to give me that purple. I wanted to smoke out the eye on the lower side with that pencil. So I was able to get that purple from that Davis pencil number 45. She then said she was going for some evening. She was going for an evening. There's somewhere she was going in the evening. And so we decided to do some glitter. We added some glitter because we wanted the makeup to still pop up when she goes, when she's in that light in the darkness. You know how at night the glitters normally pop, eh? So that's why we added the glitters on top of the shade we had done on her inner lid. So for the lipstick, we still needed our colors to blend out. And so I did the same pencil, number 45 Davis. I used to line on her lips because it would give me that capapole. Yeah, I wanted that capapole effect, but I wanted it to still be an ombre look, an ombre lipstick. That's why we went in with some pink, nude. It's a nude lipstick. That's what we were using to do the ombre lip. We then went in with the lip gloss just to make her lips pop even more. Yeah, so that's what you see I'm applying right now. We glossed the lips just to make her lipstick, or rather her lips to pop even more. Yeah, I went back with now my finishing powder. I used the Fit Me from Maybelline. That's what I'm using to finish her makeup. To set up the makeup, I used this Maybelline long-lasting fixing spray. It's the one I used to finish up her makeup. To highlight her face, I still use the same contour palette I was using. Yeah, I was using one of those shades, golden shades, to highlight her face. That was basically it, guys. Blender was just to remove anything that was in excess. And there we have our final look. Yeah, it was a very nice makeup. I really loved it. You can also confirm that it looked very nice. If you like my videos, kindly comment, share, like, please subscribe. Yeah, and also let other people see my videos. You can also contact me if you need to do some makeup. Thank you so much for watching.